Hello everyone, this is Ninja DC. Join me again for the React video. This time for Star Wars: The Force. My Little Pony.
My Little Pony versus the Forces of Evil. New crossover show. It turns out that's the plan for after both shows are canceled.
And all of this happened because of Ponyhead's inclusion.
Yeah.
Ponyhead was like, I couldn't give up the show. I needed to do something drastic. So
Who says nothing good
No,
ever came
this
from
is
Ponyhead?
No. This is the good. This is the actually good Ponyhead show.
with the same egotistical pony in the form of Rainbow Dash.
I don't know if Rainbow Dash and Ponyhead would get along.
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh,
They
no,
despise each
no.
other. When you have two egotists in the same room, they're not gonna like.
Well, I mean, Lightning Dust and Rainbow Dash can be frenemies. Ponyhead and Rainbow Dash, I think Rainbow would just be holding her ears and yelling for her to shut up. Pinkie Pie and Ponyhead might have a shot.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, then again, Ponyhead is kind of like a combination of both of those two characters. But increased both vices to the extremes. But yeah.
Alright, but moving on to the actual ponies of this episode. Anyway.
Pony Reactors.
We have Pony Reactors. Herd of Bronies?
Hello, ponies. I'm a herd of bronies. Welcome to Let's Watch My Little Pony, episode number 198.
Oh my god.
Two away from episode 200.
Oh my god. Episode 5 is going to be something big. Let's hope it's like either like a slice of life or maybe like, I don't know, Mending Fences Part 2s. I mean, I could take any.
Mending Fences Part 2s.
Nah, I have a feeling it will be slice of life. In the same way that literally a slice of life. That it'll be more like that episode. I feel where it's going to be. It's going to be where it doesn't really play into the main plot of the season. It's just sort of a standalone episode. So like slice of life.
Oh, wait a minute. I have an idea for Slice of Life Part 2s. Since we expanded Equestrian Horizons, how about we have like an entire episode that doesn't involve around friendship, involving around the other races making an alliance together, going up against a foreign enemy country. It's just have them like having to deal with it, having to be forced to work together, like sort of slide in a bit of like that friendship stuff, but without any ponies. And there you have it. Slice of Life Part 2s. You're welcome, writers. You're welcome.
Yeah, episode's already in the can. I don't think it's going to happen now. So for the Twilight 7, they're going to call it.
But next up, Carlos.
Hello, Middle Gator here, and I hope you all are going to have a pleasant day here in the accelerated world within our internet minds, because we're going to be watching some more final season stuff, because we can't do this without ending everything. So much ending. So much. The beginning and the end. Now this is starting to feel like we're transitioning over to like the falling action now with like these episodes, seeing how much more they can milk out of this series before it's going into a reboot phase. So yeah, Ponies, season 9.
All right, and next up, second.
Hi there, I'm the Second Opinion, and from a critic first and a fan second, I'm sure this is going to be the best season ever! Just like all the other ones. So let's do it!
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it.
All right. Does everyone have the episode up?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let me scroll down slightly. All right, press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay. Kim Cartoon. Wait, there's no Netflix symbol? Dang it. I'm having a
Oh, it's a Student 6 episode.
Huzzah!
Interesting.
Well,
so she's speedy enough to hold her own against Rainbow Dash.
Oh my god, superhero landing. Superhero landing.
Wait, what?
What?
Excuse me?
Well, are we jumping ahead years now?
Wait, what?
This must be a dream.
What? Yeah.
I thought it was going to be not official, but...
What? Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow,
it has to be a
why?
dream.
Because
Probably.
Yona's like suffering from eternal falling syndrome. Luna's probably going to be shepherding the young Sid.
Ah, no,
Yes!
no.
Yes! Ooh. The girls are all together. Oh my
Eh.
god! Why? Why do you give me
Student
these
6 Luna
flashbacks?
episode. Always count on your friends.
And Stambar. Wow.
Oh god.
Of course. He's such a dork.
Wait, what the hell?
Oh, it's Tree Twilight. It's not even Luna. Oh my god. God dang it, Stambar. Your averageness outweighs even Makoto, Nike.
But
The tree is
the
dead.
Tree of Harmony is dead.
Or is it?
Oh my god.
What?
Is it the new 6? Like,
Maybe that's why it needs them. It's
like
dying.
it's the 6 Pillars Part 2.
God damn it! 3 episodes in, and it's already reached a retcon.
I don't think it's a retcon. I think it's like now that Sombra did what he did to the tree is trying to save itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. They're always there.
I mean, granted, if they say that the tree is just fine now, then yeah, that's a retcon. But
Yeah, that would be an absolute retcon. Meanwhile, in the Academy of Hogwarts. Okay. Yeah,
it's gonna be something stupid.
I mean, orange is a great color for highlighting.
This is giving
Uprooted.
more flashbacks.
Oh god, Dallas.
But the tree couldn't have called you. It's gone. Sombra destroyed it. Maybe next time. Doesn't that mean the Evergreen Forest will take over Equestria? We've got that one. And Sombra went on that. So something good news, right?
It's literally we have losses now.
Oh no.
Oh, are we actually going back to pre-season 4 danger? Because I will enjoy pre-season 4 Everfree Forest.
No, it's gonna be like that on steroids.
Yeah.
And we skip it.
Dang it!
Yeah. So it is still destroyed.
Yeah, it's not a retcon.
But it's not. The consciousness hasn't been killed.
No, you
Yeah,
don't want that.
You literally would have been mind controlled.
The spirits of the elements.
Go, Silverstream.
Yes,
That
of
would be a
course,
solution
that's how it
for a
works.
simpler show.
Isn't the tree made of the straight out of the Power Rangers movie? Yeah, but not actually going to happen. Honor it. That's a pretty small consolation prize.
Ah, Kirby.
Ooh. Howdy, Dorex. Aw.
Oh, wait, tell him the truth.
Oh, don't remind me about that.
Ah, nice try.
Oh, so a way to keep them around when it's on school season.
Mhm.
Oh.
Griffin bureaucracy. Griffin bureaucracy. I can't believe they brought that back. Oh,
Okay.
let's
I'm
go.
guessing it's going to be Ember's win. Yeah. Because we have no idea who this is.
Amber's win. Oh yeah,
Smolder, rather.
Like, meanwhile, back in Yakistan, one of the most polarizing sources of Equestria ever.
So Yuna does her
smashing in a
chores
good
and she's
way.
good to go.
Smashing in a good way. That's nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, buttering up your mom. That's a really nice thing.
Or just saying goodbyes. Or, okay.
I signed your permission. It's like, oh. Meanwhile, at Grandpa Gross.
Ah.
Griffins.
Griffins.
So if he's not
Aw.
anyone's grandpa, though, why does he, control anything Ocellus does?
You mean Dallas?
Yeah, I'm mixing up my student 6 again.
Yes. Oh, hey, it's Terramar.
Nice PowerPoint.
I can't believe we actually
point.
get the... Mhm.
What?
No! Why? Why would you remove the branches of the crystals?
Sandbar.
Sandbar, you are a butt monkey.
Oh, Sandbar.
Sandbar.
Dumber every season.
Sandbar.
A symbol. That's going to be the lesson. So, yeah. This offer will basically become the symbolic new tree that will gain powers through actual friendship bonding. So, yeah.
I'm guessing it's going to turn out that Sandbar inadvertently did the right thing.
Yeah. Let's show the power of the tree. Yep, here we go. Aww. Yes! Of course, we're not gonna go.
And now we know it's a Yona episode.
Yeah.
Yona!
And then, did he
The
just
best
not
of the-
have the shards of the tree anymore?
No, he literally threw them out. Like, oh my God!
Yeah.
Seriously,
He
guys.
has so much energy.
Here's a basilisk. Is that Shirley? Wow. Dallas, I really do like your flim flam showing.
Incidentally, yeah, trees apparently do listen. Plants can listen to us, which is sort of amazing and a little creepy.
Oh, just wait until it becomes The Last of Us, in which those plants that listen to us slowly take over our entire world. Okay. I really do like the final design.
I can't tell if we're going to be impressed or disappointed in Nausicaa.
Oh. I mean, it's like a bunch of jagged lines in a star-shaped pattern.
It wasn't the most distinct design, yeah.
Let's go Silver String. Whoa.
Well, actually,
Ugh.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
It's a mural.
Wow. It's really a lot of beautiful artistry at work. Really? Okay,
That's
you're
fair.
very modern art.
Ah.
Oh, Ocellus.
Adorable. Ocellus is even at that giant form. Oh. Ooh.
And it's interrupted.
Ocellus, that's the biggest teacher's pet. Oh god!
Ah,
Oh god!
Well, he did capture what a waste so many museums are.
that actually did turn out well.
Yeah.
And here goes
this is
everything
the-
being broken.
No, my painting! Why did you?
Not the tree. It did nothing wrong.
We have destroyed Mother Nature.
Oh no, the
This is
tree's
like
so good.
Castle Sweet Castle Part Deuce.
Yes, it is.
Oh, now some people mention that.
Yeah, this is Castle Sweet Castle Part Deuce. Oh.
So now it's the Cave of Harmony.
Oh, there's no tree anymore, so they have to work with what they got.
Yeah. Silly Yona. Memories are stored in your brain, not your heart.
Then again, we're not arguing about the soul system, about like memories can covet into personalities, but
Haha,
Yona,
yeah,
that's why Yona is the best of the Monsoon Six. Like seriously, she's a credit to her race. Like the one saving grace of everything.
So that's where you put it. Why did no one ask where he put it?
Yeah, really.
Honestly, I like all the main six. The only one exception I have still question about is Sandbar, because Sandbar is literally getting dumber every season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's only been around one season.
Mm-hmm. An arc. Oh my god! Magic Treehouse! Guys, let's do this!
So, yeah, another
It's a
castle,
magic
sweet
tree
castle-esque
Yes, we're going!
sort of
guys,
thing
we're
when they
fast.
built
We
a
have-
chandelier out of Twilight's old tree.
Oh man, this is giving me all those flashbacks
Oh, wait, a
to like the
song.
books you. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Aw. Oh. Oh. Wow. Ooh.
Have you seen that creature from from
Yeah. Yeah, from the premiere. Spirit Day.
Pharynx. Whatever his
No,
name.
no. Ferrex was more like it doesn't have like a long snout like that, like an anteater.
now let's see how terrible it looks.
Ooh, it's a nice shack.
It's an attempt.
Yeah, but it really does work. Like it looks better than like saying like.
I mean, it looks nice, but it feels a little weird because I get the sense that all of these are teenagers. Like if the CMC made this would make sense.
Yeah.
It's better than I could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh god,
Yeah.
it is the Magic Tree House.
Well,
With budding friendship. Ooh.
Oh, so
Really
now the
now?
tree is gonna actually make a house.
Now the tree's like, okay, I've had enough of this. I'm making a real
Wait.
place for me.
All right, now
Wait.
I'm in charge.
Did it
and just like that,
a new
Yep.
castle?
yeah, consequences undone. It's back better than ever.
It just needed them. It was just waiting for them to work together, and
Whoa.
then it'll take over.
Okay, I'll admit that does look awesome.
That's better
Yeah.
than the
Yeah.
tree's other design, yeah. Hmm.
Oh, that's not going to be a plot point later at all.
Well, doesn't necessarily mean the elements are back.
No, I'm just saying like how it was like be a safe place for future generations. Like, a place of safe haven. That's not going to be useful at all later.
Sure. The very first episode had the whole "you can't destroy them if the spirits of them are alive." Mhm.
So wait, did that grow over the old castle?
It sort of grew in the old castle. Actually,
Yeah.
let's see who was the writer for this episode.
Nicole Dubach.
Yep.
And honestly, it's pretty good for a Nicole Dubach episode.
Yeah,
It was like a fine episode. Like I would say, this is not a fine episode, just not like a fine episode, but it's not like a great follow up. Where it had a big shadow to live in after the opener.
Sort of.
I really like the amount of characterization we got from this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this was definitely like a heartwarming episode for
I mean,
sure.
it is really almost odd to see how like what the writers do when they're free of the whole seasons of build up. Like now the main six have to have the perfect friendship because by this point, I mean, like when they're back to a bunch of characters who don't have any of that and who only have their distinct sort of personalities to go off of, it actually starts to feel like a real friendship again. And I mean, it almost brings back memories of what it felt like to see the main six realizing how well they go together and having a grand old time through the ups and downs of like getting to know each other and bonding, like not as like I don't know what you'd even call it now, like cult family members, just as actual friends.
Well, I think I see your point. It was like it's refreshing to see some amateur friends again learning lessons, because the main six are like they'll still have some lessons, but like they're basically grand masters of friendship and all that right now. They're very mature. So the amount of lessons they have is limited. But like here, the season 6, like you're going to see, it's like going back to season 1 or 2. It's like, yeah, they're pretty amateur with all these sort of things, and they've sort of learned new lessons and all that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's almost just what I'm talking about because, I know that's what the show has gone to at this point. Like, okay, it's all about friendship, and the main six have graduated to be grand masters of friendship. But that's the thing. There's no such thing as grand masters of friendship. That is a very silly concept. There's close friends, and there's closer friends, and there's not close friends. I mean, and even close friends, have conflicts that friends have. I mean, there's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess there are friendships that are so close they're like family members, but I mean,
like a blood bond or something.
Yeah, which.
Well, I mean, not just close, like their grandmaster friendship, but I mean, not just necessarily grandmaster friendship, but like in general, their maturity has like grown a lot. It's like
so but even the most mature of friends, I mean, I feel like it would look closer to what the student six are doing than to the main six in All Bottled Up, where they're doing an escape room and could you help me, please? Why, yes, thank you. Hey, we did it. Let's sing a song about how perfectly perfect our friendship is. But wait, we messed something up because of that. So it's still tongue in cheek. It's still self-aware or something. And I mean, like, okay, even if you are so close with your friends, then you're like family members. Okay, as Guardians of the Galaxy 2 put it. You guys make fun of each other and give each other hell all the time. Exactly. We're not friends. We're family.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Totally true statement.
I mean, I don't know. That's where the whole Yu-Gi-Oh-esque, like, loves, almost like life partners who aren't actually married thing, or like it's almost like the friendship equivalent of being in love with love. It's like, it's not real. Which, And I mean, I shouldn't say that for all episodes. We got stuff like Sounds of Silence, for example, that was a pretty good depiction of Applejack and Fluttershy going out together. It seems like stuff like that all bottled up scene I was talking about is becoming more and more the norm, or has become more and more the norm. So that's where something like this becomes so refreshing. To me, anyway. Alright. I'll just drop the mic here while there's a echoing silence off of that.
Okay, so I'm just thinking about like this episode. I feel like it was like probably because it feels like better than like the Council Sweet Council, just because like the newer, younger characters being the subject that they made for like a better source of like a conflict, but also kind of like seeing like, hey, look, direct aftermath to like the whole shebang of events, even much more stronger than like say like season 5 or wait. What was like the closest we had?
Okay.
Well, it's like I think maybe like I think like maybe season 2. No, wait. Season 2 probably was like it's like this is like the strongest like continuation of like the events that played from like the premiere. It's like an episode for the series, I think, within a season.
Yeah, I mean, no, this is a very classic third episode for Friendship is Magic, just like resetting the new season dynamic.
Yeah, I think it's like the Castle Crashers sort of thing, where it's like the very slice of life's episode after the more adventure.
Yeah,
it's refreshing after having a mod episode every third episode.
Oh yeah, you're
like
right.
the last 3 seasons or 2 seasons.
Oh, it's season 6 had a third mod episode. Season 7, season 7's third episode was the all bottled up with Trixie and Starlight.
No. The third episode was a mod episode because like season 7 had a 1-part premiere. Had a 1-part premiere. Season 7 was rock solid friendship.
Well, technically, yeah. So, I mean, depends on how you want to take that. Although the all bottled up is still like much more the classic third episode formula.
Gotcha, but yeah.
Season 8, though, it was that terrible Mudbriar episode.
Yes.
Season 8, Stick in the Mud.
Yeah, so I guess I have like mixed feelings on that. Like, Stick in the Mud, hate it, rock solid friendship. It's decent, but actually I thought the bad part was not Maud, but Pinkie Pie in that episode. And then the season 6 one, I love it. I thought that Rarity, Pinkie, and Maud were all had it was a grand time watching them play off each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely like better in retrospect. I mean, like season 7's episode definitely had a bit more highlights, but at the same time, season 6 episode was more consistent.
I don't know about the highlights at mods. Boulder says they're all too stuck up. Oh, you're supposed to be. Oh, I'm so excited! I got the red pouch. Oh no, I'm saying excited a lot when I'm actually just kind of excited. But this time, I'm really excited about how excited I am about being this excited over the rock pouch. You're supposed to be more like that, Pinkie.
That was a good.
Please get that. But when she looks at you like that with that fire in her eyes, that means you're really in trouble. Oh no, please, mercy. Or watching Maud interrogate Rarity, like with her deadpan, like terror speech. Where's her cannon?
It's definitely like one of those moments of like the series of like Rarity being able to like either like interpret it or be able to like lay down the smackdown on like a dog pony. Like it's just like without even doing anything.
Yeah, that was good stuff. But yeah, I also like this better than Castle Sweet Castle though, because Castle Sweet Castle. Like for me, the good part of that one is the Twilight stuff, the friends decluttering the castle and stuff. They played that like up clash of personalities and there's too much. to go the other way, and there's not enough. Like this seemed to be just having more fun with the actual clash of personalities part.
Yeah.
So
Like what everyone comes up with, and how
and
they
this is also kind of like
how
the
they clash
third.
and make up a lap. Yeah, good.
This is also kind of like the third episode, like in like the third time for like a third episode ever since season 4 to focus on the castle, the two ponies, like focus on a castle because well, you know, season 4 with like the whole Castlemania, then season 5 with Castle Sweet Castle, and now season 9 here with like at the end like this whole like new tree growth thing happening underneath the castle of the two pony sisters. So it's kind of like a weird thing to bring up, but it's kind of like it's also like that point of like we bring up like these plots like the castle of the two pony sisters, which is basically like we're stomping on the ground to the past, not doing much anything with it. It's just what's used as like landmark dressing for like the student 6 and season 8.
Kinda, sorta, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you would think it would have more relevance. No. The Castle of the Two Pony Sisters is just that. It's just a Castle of the Two Pony Sisters, and that was not even the site in which they got their friendship for the main six. Like it was more like an offshoot location of the castle.
Well, I mean, it was there because that's where the original elements were, and then Castle Sweet Castle tried to show us what else is hidden there, and it came up with a Scooby-Doo parable that forgot there to actually insert a reason to care, but
yeah, that was
yeah,
a
and then
weird.
that was the end of that.
That was
can
a
you all hear
weird.
me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, it glitched
Yeah.
out for some weird
You
reason
dropped.
for me. You know, I know like it Hangout like aired me out. Just
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shame. Well,
So
miracle of technology.
it's overall. I just think like Gallus really stole the show for me.
Yeah, I really
it's
like this characterization.
I mean, like it's basically like it's like his home version of like Griffin antics, or like how greedy they are for gold. With like an attraction, really raking the gold. Wait, what does that have to do with like us celebrating the tree? Oh, nothing. I just really want gold. Why? Because it's gold. Okay then. And then the small is like, oh, I get him. You do? Really? Yeah.
Wait, what's this?
I mean, about like him making a roadside attraction that would be like a cheaply made, but like in order to make as much money as possible with like the effort. But also I really did appreciate Yona in the episode. Like more and more, it's like it's more like the show's like saying like, hey guys, I know you might have been undecisive about who would be like the best of the student 6, but we're trying to tell you in the second episode straight in a row, focusing on these characters, that Yona is the best one, and you can't argue it. You just can't. Simple, honest, brute, but also adorable.
Yeah. I mean, she has a lot of great moments, but honestly, I thought they all were kind of good here. Like, Ocellus trying to throw off Thorax by... I almost said Snorlax there, how about that? But yeah, by turning into a rock, and then a dragon, and then her giant bug monster form to transport the water fountain. I mean, that gag has yet to get old for me. Yeah, like Ocellus solving whatever problem she needs to by turning into this giant monster. Just to see that flying by with Ocellus's voice coming out of it. It's like that still does it for me better than most gags. Or Silverstream and her sort of own quirkiness, like, I mean, everybody likes describing the Student 6's combinations of characters, so I guess she's almost somewhere in between Pinkie Pie and Rarity. Like, instead of having a happy-go-lucky person's sort of eccentricity, she has more of like a happy artist's eccentricity. So, I mean, I guess it's like, I mean, usually most writers, especially after like Scrappy Doo, don't vouch for just creating a new character when you think the old ones are getting stale, but I don't know, it's kind of like the writers seem to feel it frees them up from, like, I guess what they feel obligated to do with the main six. Which, I don't know. I don't know if it's like just because certain portions of the fan base sort of really respond to the notion of them as having this like perfectly perfect all's well with the world kind of friendship or what, but it seems to become the default, just the default a lot. So, no. If I'm the only one, I'll give it up on that, but, nobody.
What?
Just how the default for the main six is becoming kind of more and more like, okay, they have the perfectly perfect friendship, and they've become the perfectly perfect protagonists who handle everything with perfectly perfect friendship.
So they just moved on to the student six.
Yeah, or at least, well, that, but also that they don't seem to feel the need to do that with the student six,
Okay.
it's almost like they feel freed up by it.
Yeah.
So, I guess does anyone have anything else to say about this episode? I mean, like, aside from like the continuing degradation of like the student six main goal is like to show like, oh, other races could be also fun too. Meanwhile, Sandbar's like, hey, let's make a guy character that's not completely stupid, but at the same time is kind of like, oh, like the lower spectrum of like the social hierarchy. Like,
I'd say he's completely stupid.
Yeah.
It's almost like, well, granted, like, nobody hates falling back on the stupid stick more than I do, but I mean, I'm at kind of a weird in-between point right now where I'm like, okay, they could technically still spin it as sort of like he just has this different, overly anal retentive way of looking at things that, causes him to sort of follow his own strand of logic. I mean, people accuse Pinkie Pie of getting hit with the idiot stick a lot, and I guess, or at least in the old days, and I was there like, okay, when did the show ever imply she was anything other than this? I mean, like, even if she is smart underneath it all, we know she has her own offbeat way of seeing the world. This is totally in step with that, and Sandbar, I'm like, okay, this is annoying how they're borderline just using that as an excuse to do the plot strand they want to do, but I can't say it's become caricature just yet. Maybe, like, I'm not sure if they're making it sort of a Ned Flanders kind of deal.
I mean, maybe they're just adding more characterization.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know, I'll wait to see how and no obligation to anyone else to do this. I would sympathize if you don't, but yeah, I guess my thing is going to be just like waiting to see what direction they take it before I cast judgment on that.
The direction they'll take in less than one season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like it's going to be the Student Six's time to shine. The tree was talking about the next generation, and they kind of are the next generation.
Well, not going to be the canon Hasbro of the next generation, for sure.
Well, I think they might help in the end and all that, but I still feel the main six are still going to be the keys to defeating whatever minimalist plan the goats thing.
At very least, though, I think it's pretty likely that they'll quote unquote pass the torch.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like,
well,
hey, we made the next generation creatures from all of Equestria. We have created unity like never before.
Well, the thing is, it's sort of hard for them to pass the torch because, like, what's been established in the first episodes here, depending, what they're going to do with the main six is they're going to be taking over running Equestria.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, like, remember the elements of harmony, though. Keep in mind who they're taking over from and who had the elements originally.
Which means they're going to be as useless as Celestia. Oh, boy.
Well, last season they already were. Like, oh, wait, but they escaped from Tartarus, which did absolutely nothing. But now, see, we didn't just throw them off screen. Actually, come to think of it, 2 out of the last 3 season finales have gotten rid of the main 6 and made them the, tertiary to the actual point.
Yeah. And the only reason why the main 6 were even involved in like the 7th season finale was only just because of Twilight's affinity with Star Swirl and wanting to like help like ancient figures like save the world from the great evil that is the Pony of Shadows.
Well, to be fair, it was actually the main 6 and Twilight that saved the day there.
Oh, absolutely. Oh no, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying like that was I think like that was the reason why like they weren't like pushed off to like be like tertiary characters then. They were like, okay, we need to put some relevance back to our main 6 because of what people were saying about season 6. So yeah, let's just make this let's make this ancient main 6 work with the current main 6 and do this and that and boom.
I know that there's like, well, heck, we've beaten this rug to death. Nobody wants to say that, oh, we've lost our way. This has gotten so confused. But I mean, yeah, just like from the outside looking in, it's like really easy to see how the lack of a consistent team in charge of this has caused it to really have trouble picking a direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's
just caused too many loose ends.
Too many like offshoots, and like they're trying to bring everything together, making it all one unified pile of stuff at the very end, which it's working so far, but at the same time it's like it's a lot of offshoot ideas you have here. Like, okay, aside from the main 6 plot, which ended like at season 4, then we get the Starlight subplots, which ended in season 6, then we get the Pillars, which is a season 7, and the Student 6, which is a season 8. You see where I'm going with this, right?
They're making too much, and it's going to end up like they have to consider everything every time they make another episode. Like they have to consider if something happens, then why didn't this force do this, or why didn't these guys do that? And
I
mean, like,
it gets too much, and they have to write out all these groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when Lewis and Sonko were in charge in season 7, it did seem like they were at least trying to put some vision back into this. That okay, let's dig into the lore we already have and like expand that and build it to the point where it could continue to go somewhere after this season. And then we got Josh Haber back in charge, whose solution for what the show was about in season 6 was, I don't know, let's put Starlight in the spotlight a few times and then make the season finale about her. And he and Nicole Dubach seem to have decided that they want to do a school, and it's vaguely coming into focus as okay, well, it's time for every generation to pass the torch one generation down. But that's only just now after all of his meandering from one place to the next.
Yeah, it's like very much like Haber misled us into the Starlight era, but then the Pillars was like an interesting prospect, but it was very much a short-lived one because you couldn't really do much with like established characters. The school was an interesting diversion which fitted Twilight's character, and I mean like it definitely works for like the penultimate season for like setting the seed for like the next generation of people to learn about friendship from like proven professors. And now hopefully like season 9 is like maybe we might have like 1 or 2 spotlight episodes on like the Pillars, the one Starlight episode, a Spike episode, just to be like, hey, let's make a commemoration episode for Spike to see like okay, what can we write for Spike right now? Because seriously, you already had the growing up and you already had the father subplot. So what are you going to do with the dragon now?
Coming into his own, taking
actually, I
whatever
have-
role he wanted to take in life, and stepping out from
Oh,
Twilight as his guardian, sort of a role.
I mean, if that were to happen,
they do. I can confirm they actually at least do have a Spike episode coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, I mean, this being the last season, though, does sort of give them a an easy direction for what the a shoe-in for what the direction is now. It's about everything coming to an end. It's about the generation coming to an end. So yeah, no more. All right, where are we going with this now? We're going to the end. Easy.
I mean, like, if they make the Spike episode about Spike's crush on Rarity, I will literally just freak out in a negative way because no, we're not.
Well, they have to do that. That's like one of their loose ends. They have to tie that off.
I mean, yeah. I
I
wanted to be like a one-off thing at the end of like the epilogue, not like an entire episode devoted to like, will they, won't they, and then like we won't show the end result until the end. Like, no, I don't want the episode wasted on that. I need something better than that.
Yeah,
We
well, I
need
don't want will
closure.
they, won't they, but I'd love, Spike having to settle with his feelings on that already and move on or get some other girlfriend or
I mean, like if it involves a new
Rarity
girl,
to turn him down proper already or something.
yeah, like okay, if it was something like that, then yes, but I don't want to wishy-washy like Spike gets together with Rarity because now you've given up all the goodwill for that ship a long time ago.
Yeah, I think our reactions to Spike when Spike got his wings episodes, I think that summarizes our overall thoughts and like Spy Rarity at this point. It's just like it's past it's expired at this point. Like that ship has expired. It's no longer good.
Spike's off on his own now.
Spike has like two potential like choices in the Dragonlands right now. Come on.
Smolder, Ember. Actually, there was. I mean, granted, they haven't seemed to, drop this hint since the season 2 finale, but there was one interesting possibility on the table there, putting him with Sweetie Belle.
Oh, the Sweetie Belle ship.
Yeah.
No, it's not ill. It's not ill. They're still like they're around the same age. They're still around the same age. It's not ill, really.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing ill until you move into Rule 60, Rule 34. That's when it gets ill.
No, yeah. That's the ill factor.
Rule 34 is ew regardless, but I mean, I don't. Well, old Sweetie Belle, I would have like probably gotten into the notion that okay, Spike, once you like get the stars out of your eyes, that she's more your type because she was a lot more of a let her hair down kind of pony than Rarity. Although now, I mean, it's almost a waste because now they don't seem to know what Sweetie Belle is.
Well, actually, that's
she's
the one thing.
Mature-ish now, and she likes vaguely. I don't know, what would you even call like performance theater and show tunes and
yeah, I forget like what was the one writer's name who did Pinkie Pie episodes first on?
Dave Polsky.
Dave Polsky. Yeah, I sort of blame Dave Polsky. He's the one that sort of like rewritten Sweetie Belle from like their
the episode for whom the Sweetie Belle toils.
That and also the other one where he essentially decides like, hey, how about we make Sweetie Belle the leader of the CMC? And it's sort of that weird, awkward thing where like they sort of
Oh, you mean the Trouble Shoes episode where she's the voice of reason ish?
No, it's not kind of like there's like the one with they're friends with Twilight. She's sort of the one taking the lead on that, where like they're taking advantage of that. Then there's the
Twilight Time.
Then there's the other.
I don't think he did.
No, it was Josh Haber.
But but yeah, I was actually going to ask, what was the reference to Spike and Sweetie Belle in season 2? Because I always think there's fan art for them.
They're dancing together at the wedding, like they cut to all of the characters having a great time, and then of all places to put Spike, they have him dancing with one cutie mark crusader, and it's Sweetie Belle.
That's a very small thing, so I guess that makes sense why it's so big in the fandom. There's that small bullshit thing. Now
No,
it
it wasn't Dave Polsky who wrote Twilight Time. How about that? Okay.
Oh, it was? Dang it, Daholsky, what are you doing? Why did you send Sweetie Belle up in that direction? Sweetie Belle was supposed to be like the cute, supportive character, not the mature and like authoritative unicorn for like the Cutie Mark Crusaders. While Apple Bloom gets bit in the dust and not really doing much of anything, being like the most pointless like absentee leader possible.
Well, I mean, like, actually, Apple Bloom has come into focus, to be fair, in the last couple seasons a little more, like, why she's the leader in all of this. It's like almost because she's the one who needed this concept the most of having friends based around the cutie marks and stuff. But yeah, Sweetie Belle, to be fair, she seemed to have the least ego, so I could accept her as sort of a voice of reason. But yeah, leader was probably not the right role.
Okay, let's also talk about like what about like the abridged about like what's going on over at the Citadel of Doom right now? Because come on.
At the what?
Meanwhile, in the Temple of Doom.
Meanwhile, in the Temple of Doom, Grogar is just like, okay. So
yeah, I really hope they don't forget to cut back to them until the season finale. Like, hope.
That's another thing I can confirm. There will be within like the next 5, because their synopsis is released within the next 5-ish episodes, we will have a Spike episode and a one focusing on them also.
Yeah, because just like the opener, the mid card, the mid-season, and the finale. I mean, this concept demands more than that. It is time to press that button, the actual foreground season arc writers.
Yes.
But the one thing I will say is, like, I remember what I said, I swear this episode, the big thing of foreshadowing is like, oh, this thing will be a shelter for people and friendship. Is like, that screams to me in the last episode, last 1 or 2 episodes, that whatever one guy's plans are, that's going to send darkness and all that through Equestria, they'll, like, the main 6 and others will take shelter in that, like, friendship hut or friendship castle.
Yeah.
Friendship hut. It's a friendship hut because it's definitely not a castle. Like a wait a minute,
a fort. I think a fort is a good description because it's like a
fort friendship.
Yeah, I will say though that
Sanctuary.
I will say that, like, yeah, the tree respawning just like that, it does wipe away the whole change dynamic of, whoa, the tree is gone now, pretty early on. Like, I mean, even if the tree had appeared to them and said that, like, you have taken the first step in creating harmony or recreating the elements for the new generation or something like that. Okay, even if they had to do that, I mean, it still might have worked better if they'd played it more like season 4 did. Like, yes, okay, something respawns. It looks like this is an important step now, but okay, we don't know how this is actually going to solve the problem yet. And
the thing is, I won't say it's a full reboot of that, just because one, the tree's not the same. It doesn't seem as strong as it was, because like we were just saying, first of all, it's not a friendship castle that spawned, it's a friendship fort. Like, it seems weaker, and it needed their strength to rebuild.
Well, the castle didn't get destroyed, just the tree. The fortress is actually bigger than the tree was.
But the point I was going to say with that is, well, actually the tree wasn't, because remember, the tree's roots went all the way to the castle.
The school.
Yeah,
it grew into the castle, but I mean, like, again, it was not the castle itself that was destroyed.
Yeah, my main point, though, is like there is still consequences. Yes, it respawned, but it does seem overall sort of weaker because it needed the Student 6 to help. And also, by all, like, they didn't take back the elements of harmony are gone. Like, those are still gone, so there's not like that.
But the spirits are respawning, whatever it was.
Yeah,
but other than the elements and parts, still, like, notice that you had to read in to determine that. It's a bit of a, well, I mean, it's a stylistic choice. Maybe they will utilize it, all right. But I mean, just going in, I can say that especially with these villains starting to rise, that like they've taken away a door or a window for suspense from themselves. A way to, yeah.
So I'm just like now thinking like, so
pull down on that. You're thinking.
So, the friendship sanctuary that they have cooking. Wait. Aside from the main characters focus, do you think they're gonna diverge their attentions, focus empty platitude episodes, say, oh, we got a few more ideas for some nice slice of life, ideas, or maybe just focusing more on closure as the theme of the season, because I'm not so sure how I'm gonna feel about normal slice of life episodes for the final season.
I'm fine with slice of life episodes if they have some good character development. Empty platitude episodes I could do without.
I mean, I think they can work. I have a feeling we are going to be disappointed with a few this season. But I think Star is a good example. It's final season 2, and there are still slice of life episodes. However, those I feel at least so far aren't as bad because they all do have consequence. Even if it's slice of life, it seems to have some sort of character development or plot development where there's continuity. That's the word I was looking for. There's some continuity going forward where that's where I don't know if they're going to do that with all these slice of life episodes where they all will have some, even if it's a small aspect that's added to the continuity of final season. But that's why I can.
Yeah, I mean, all the seasons so far, no matter what the quote-unquote arc was, have made time for the slice of life episodes. And I mean, I have a feeling even if this one is all right, all the ideas we've ever wanted to do, all the really big ideas we've been holding back, do them. Even that, I have a feeling that, yeah.
Okay. I'm just
They're gonna. Well, I mean, there's a ton of different writers who all have a say. Odds are somebody's gonna come up with one that's just an offhand sort of an episode.
I was going to say I just suddenly thought up another thing we could talk about for closure is if we have episodes focusing on the main 6, which of course we're going to have, are we going to focus on certain plot points that they have hanging the loose through lines? I don't know, maybe we could have an episode about Granny Smith sort of officially saying who's going to own the apple farm. I mean, or maybe something maybe something about Limestone and Marble episode for Pinkie Pie. Not just have them be secondary characters the sibling episodes of Pinkie and Maud. And I'm also thinking about Fluttershy Discord should definitely have an episode this season. Just because
I'm not kidding. They should, and the thing is, I'm not getting my hopes up, even though I really think they should. Even if they're not, I ship them, yes. But even if we don't, I'm not asking for a shipping episode. I'm just asking for another friendship episode with them because it is the final.
Another Discord and
at some
Harmony.
point. They're gonna.
I know, but they could use it in another Twilight episode. It's just no, please don't do that.
No. Even though you did good with it in the premiere, just no for the casual, no for the slice of life
guess
episode.
who's coming back for the 200th episode?
Who?
Just look that up.
Who?
Not one, but 2 guest voice actors who have played, lead characters from an episode.
Is it Weird Al?
He's one.
Yes.
Hey,
Oh my God.
And Patton Oswalt?
You got it.
Yes! Jenna's gonna hate it! Yes!
Those 2 together. I mean.
I know Patton Oswalt. At least he has his own episode. Besides that,
so much.
Okay, no wait, I read that. Well, okay, yeah. In fact, cheese sandwich and Quibble Pants. I got that wrong. They're not necessarily the 200th episode.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't matter. Those 2 are coming back. It's made more Quibble Pants for fandom debates. Yes.
Quibble Pants. All right.
Apparently, the 200th episode, all of the voice actors for the main characters collaborated to think of the story, at least, even if Josh Haber and Nicole Dubach were still the writers.
Oh my God, that's so precious. That is so amazing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in some way. I think I recall the description for it, which it's one of those descriptions that doesn't really tell you about the episode. But the one thing I've heard about outside of that, it's supposed to be a very meta episode.
Okay.
And it's coming next week.
Wait.
Are you sure it's next week or is it? I think it's the
No,
next.
it says here that Uprooted was number 199. So.
All right. So yeah.
Oh God, we're already at 200.
Yeah, that was like 198 or something like before.
Beginning of the end. Part 1 was 197, but part 2 was 198.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then we're already at 200. Okay. We got
our Easter gift from Hasbro.
Easter gift from Hasbro. Your 200th episode. It's gonna be It's not gonna be a slice of life. It's gonna be a collaboration between voice actors who have worked on the series for so long that they probably have a somewhat decent idea on like what their characters should do. Which means it's gonna be fun.
Never know how much the story credit counts for. I mean, usually it's the writer whose fingerprints are all over the episode, but there have been exceptions, like Applejack's Day Off is a Neil DeStedow episode, if there ever was one, and yet he only has the story credit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, then again, it's not as bad as like his other episodes.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
I'm just saying. I'm not like saying like that episode's great or anything. I'm just saying like it's just okay at the best. It's not.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I've seen it go in circles. Which one of his episodes people hate the most? Like, Calliope Pony, for example, thought Princess Spike was just total meh, but what about Discord made her want to claw her eyes out? Some people, though, have said, well, what about Discord has Discord, so it automatically has some entertainment, and Princess Spike was just boring, and Applejack's Day Off, why are we talking about that one again? To me, I'm like, all right, they're all lame. They all suck. Although if you're gonna twist my arm and absolutely force me to pick a worst one, then I might have to go with Applejack's Day Off because I just don't know how like anything could be a bigger waste than a 2-minute sequence following pipes back and forth to discover the obvious, and then.
All right,
but I don't know. That episode was a total waste.
All right, but I guess let's give up our final thoughts on this episode.
Okay, the song was good. Like really, like showing
okay.
like the young Six Talents.
Yeah. I mean, for all the songs like that they've had to do, yeah, I would say that was one of the better ones. Although that's still not enough to be like a series highlight.
No, not a series highlight, but just something entertaining to listen to.
Yeah.
Something that won't make you regret watching the episode again.
Yeah, I mean, I've forgotten it already, but I haven't forgotten that it was, like, legitimately pleasant while I was listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was this the first Student Six song or not?
No, the second one because of the premiere of School Days.
Yeah, it's been a while at least.
Yeah. So it's I guess really that's all I really got to say because I already said everything else in the other points.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'd say that okay, like I said, I like this better than something like Castle Sweet Castle, and just because it fits together a little better. It feels like there's a little more heart to it. I mean, Castle Sweet Castle, it had some heart. It had Twilight having to move past what happened to her home for so long. But I mean, this, I think it runs through the episode a little better. So probably one of the better third episodes we have. I mean, it still feels fairly standard in what it's moving through and how it's kind of trying to lay out a new dynamic and in a standard sort of way. But so just like I said, really lovable personalities, just the right dose of heart. I mean, I'd say it's at least a B or a B+.
Alex?
Yeah. This is a good episode. I love the characterization that we got. I like that they're actually continuing with the Student 6 and not leaving them in season 8.
All right, with that, yeah, I disagree with that. I'm glad we're not just leaving them. I mean, I don't want them to take too much of a spotlight because, like, I think that was a plot point of last season. So I wouldn't mind them taking more of a backseat this season. So like Starlight in previous, I think the last season, I guess relatively last season. More like she's there and she still has important roles, but like they're not like last season. They weren't cramming Starlight down their throats like they were like the season before that.
Yeah, season 7 was like, hey, where was the Starlight focus episode? Season 7 is your answer.
Well, I mean, like season 6. I don't know if I can accuse it of cramming Starlight down our throats for how few episodes she got. It's just like they really didn't seem to have a point in mind for anything except her. But,
yeah, that's the same. Like, I don't mind. I just don't want to. I feel I'd like the Student 6, but I don't want them to, because this is the final season. I want them. There's so many different plot points that the focus on them just feels like it would be too much. But I do want them to have like 1 or 2 episodes or in a role in the end, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And also for Starlight.
I mean, it may just be because I don't entirely trust the team to get good stuff out of the main 6 anymore. But I mean, like I think like the main 6 still need to be the main heroes, but I totally wouldn't mind the Student 6 coming into their own and taking up the torch of the elements of harmony and stuff if they have a solid, concrete vision in mind of how to do that. Like if there's an inspired idea that they really want to do there and not just that's what's going to make the fan base happy and make this seem all final and finality and finalness and stuff, right?
So basically you're okay with it as long as there's no magical mystery cure.
That, and as long as it's not Starlight in season 6 where it's like, okay, we're 100% bored of everyone else. We're 50% bored of her, but we may as well at least try to do something since she's there anyway.
Oh, wait a minute. What about...
focus on the main 6 first and the Student 6 second.
I forgot about the Pony Suicide Squad. Thanks for reminding me about that. That's another group that was an offshoot that never led to anywhere. Like,
that would be awesome if like the season finale actually has like all the little mini groups working together. Like we have the Suicide Squad group, the Student 6, we have the CMC, and then we have the main 6 all having. Ooh, what if each of them gets a villain?
Yes.
That would be pretty cool.
Okay.
Although Starlight, she's had like 2 offshoot groups now. She has her Suicide Squad group, and she has her Mod Trixie Sunburst friendship group. It's
my god!
I know, but I'm thinking more than Venture group, so like which still has Trixie in with it.
Well, that's true, and I'd prefer that too, honestly. But I mean, yeah, that just goes to show you. Actually, what it goes to show you is how little vision they actually had for Starlight. Like what an awkward in between point she ended up being. I mean, she gets her share of support because she's a reformed villain who, not only sticks around, but is actually one of the main characters, and like you get to see, or in theory, you get to see what you liked about her as a villain recontextualized into being a hero. I mean, that tends to get a lot of support, but I mean, not only do we have the botched redemption, it really has become sort of a meandering in between point. Like, okay, they wanted to do something with it, but they didn't, or they didn't have anything in particular in mind. Like,
but what I was saying is trying to break up the Student 6. I mean, how the groups. I think at least currently, I would have it broken up. Is the Chrysalis would probably be handled with Starlight's group just because she has a vendetta against her for reasons.
And also Thorax.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Thorax
is Starlight's Suicide Squad group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the Student 6 could handle
Cozy.
Yeah, Cozy Glow. That seems to line up
Or
the
the
most.
Cutie Mark Crusaders, because
Well, I think.
Oh,
Well, the thing is, like, I was thinking both of those could go, but I think the Student 6 fit her better because it's basically the CMC got so sidelined by her, and then also the CMC I could see going with what's that one? The one big tough guy.
Oh,
Tyrek. I could see them actually going against Tyrek, and their whole comedy thing would be is he's having such problems dealing with Cozy Glow. It's like a whole group of Cozy Glows fighting him. Could be like the irony of that. Because I think we all know the main 6, or if there's going to be a breakup like this, they're going to handle the big guy, the main.
Yeah, they have to handle Grogar. Luna and Celestia could handle, like, Sombra stepping back out of the shadows or something like that. Or the Pony of Shadows, or I don't know, just like, yeah, Luna has to, I don't know, go to the Dream Realm and stop Sombra from re-emerging from the shadows there, or something like that. Or the pillars and the ponies, who are the top dogs, have to stop whatever Grogar's like evil plan is. Like, okay, they have to go defuse the bomb, while all of the groups have to go head to head with all of the bad guys.
it's definitely like that sort of end game that you would just love to see for a pony show.
Yeah, like kind of like how kind of like the what's the Crystal Empire episode where everything's freezing over, kind of like how they
Crystal
had
Crystal.
Luna, yeah, how they had Luna and Celestia blasting storm clouds the whole time. Like, no, see, they're useful this time, and it's exciting and stuff, I guess.
Well, then what about the pillars? Like, I thought they were going to go up against Tyrek, but I guess the CMC would make for like a nice comedy.
I don't know, Tyrek, like he's technically, I mean, up until Grogar, he was basically the most powerful adversary they'd ever faced. I just don't know how you're going to have the CMC against that.
No, I know. That's why I mentioned the pillars of Equestria with Star Swirl. Like, then again, it's like Star Swirl going up against Tyrek might be a bad combo.
Yeah.
Unless,
the main 6 need to go up against Grogar. I think that's kind of a given.
I think
absolutely.
that is a given, and then also the Chrysalis versus Starlight's group was also, I feel, the most close of a given if we do that. The others are just where it gets a little weird. I guess the CMC and the Student 6 could work together against Cozy.
Yeah. Or they could trade, because like if the Student 6 are coming into their own as sort of the successors to the Elements of Harmony, they I mean, it would make sense to have them take down the guy who served as kind of Twilight's succession test. Like, or in a manner of speaking, her test to being the Princess of Friendship. It's not a perfect parallel, but that almost makes it less contrived.
But I guess we gotta head out for this episode, though.
Fair enough.
While.
We'll do more fanboy speculating some other time.
Yep. Right. See y'all next week.
See ya.
Take care.